Our first speaker tonight is Olumide. Olumide is an avid learner who is working on getting better at human interaction. Today, he would be speaking on being an effective virtual communicator. The speech title is Take Us Back to Before the Pandemic, a tale of modern video calls and a pandemic. Olumide, please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? For whatever reason, I'm trying to share my screen. I cannot. Do I have permission to share?
Yes, sir, you do.
Okay, just give me a moment. All right, can we all sit?
Yes, we can.
All
Yes.
right. All right. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I would like to continue the series on the post-COVID communication. My previous one was talking about video calls, my love and hate relationship with video calls, and this is supposed to be more like a sequence to it. So it's talking about take us back before the pandemic, a tale of modern video calls during the pandemic. I'm sure we all have noticed the high influx of video calls we've had in the last couple of months. We've had either via WhatsApp, Zoom, the list is endless. And I think I am beginning to love it, frankly. I've been able to overcome my fear, not really my fear, but just I've been able to come out of my shell basically because I'm getting better at communicating with people via phone or laptop as it may be. And it's me just embracing myself to change because in life, there's nothing as constant as change. I would say that these calls have helped my mood better as it has let me, some of these video calls have let me rather invigorated at times. And it has also helped me with multitasking. I'll give an example of that. Just over the weekend, I was taking a crash course and it required 6 hours of my time, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on Saturday, it was my aunt's 70th party. And apparently she's in the UK. So I knew even if I tried to do that, it was going to be, if I had to combine attending a class and going for a party, it would have been impossible if I had to do it physically, you get. But because I was, virtual, I could have my class logged in on my laptop and literally join the party for a few minutes and sign out over that. So I'd say that to a great extent, the virtual communication is being effective and helping people bond better. I know that we all love to interact, and in as much as we love to interact, I feel that we should learn, or it's best that we know how to go about it. It's one thing to want to interact, it's another thing to, come off as being something else. All right. So, irrespective of what the event is, it could be the surprise birthday party, it could be a gala night, it could be a live event, it could be church services, it could be a bid function or something. There's certain basic rules that holds, and I would like to share some of them with you. Like the RJ says, punctuality is the soul of business, and to me, I feel more like this rule comes across board even for virtual meetings. So if a meeting is slated for 2 p.m., ensure to log in as exactly 2 or probably maybe just a few minutes before 2 p.m. That way you know that you are in check and all of that. Another thing I've quite noticed, and it took me to be a victim before I realized it was wrong, was the fact that when you have to join a meeting pretty late, you should be ready to place yourself on mute. I place myself on mute right now. I mute my audio and I turn off my camera. That way I'm able to get in, settle in, then probably turn on my audio if need be, or turn on my video to just for people to see my face if it's like an official meeting. another thing I would endeavor to tell people, I would like to tell people, is the fact that they need to communicate and not just be a spectator. Where the times when we're quote unquote casual to get into meetings, it's a group meeting and all of that, or yeah, it's a group session. People, you need to submit. Everybody needs to submit things, and you're like, you know what? I've thrown in my mail, and let's just compile it. Let me just come into the meeting to mark my attendance. But I just feel more like we're all by ourselves, so to say, and this little social interaction is what we have. And that's all that we have right now. This is the goal that we have. This is the only way we can communicate. This is the only way we can see each other's faces, and have something such intangible feel very tangible to us. So it's just a good thing to communicate. If you have to use the chat box, use the chat box. If you have to use the question and answer box, use it, because quite a number of times we have people come up and say, oh yes, the floor is open for questions, for example, and you see them putting up the questions under in the comment section, and I'm like, wherever the host is might not be able to reach you. Let's take, for example, Instagram Live, right? You're running a live show and you give people the opportunity to ask questions. Then questions come out under, you know how it works with the Instagram Live. The comments really go pretty fast, and there's no way whoever is in charge of, whoever the administrator is, cannot, keep in tabs with how many questions go under the comment section. So it's just best to use the appropriate features of the app that's being used. So I would also talk about the basic guide to video calls, about the fact that's for WhatsApp, either WhatsApp or something. Yeah, WhatsApp is what this quite particular to WhatsApp, about the fact that you should call people twice. And if at max, if they don't pick calls, just drop a message. Another thing I would say is, like I said, is human interaction. You should, sorry about that. You should get used to people at the first instance of you connecting to them, trying to adjust and readjust, because quite a number of times we all play different roles in our individual lives. Some people are mothers, some people are fathers with kids, and they just have to find the right position or the right places in their house to sit in. And you can't be so careful. We have seen several memes online where kids just bump into their parents' video meetings and all of them, virtual meetings and all of that. So it's just you giving the other party the grace to find whatever position is best suits them, and proceed from there. So I would like to go back. I would also like to talk about, facts and figures. In the last couple of months, we've based on my research, as at December 2019, Zoom had less than 10 million daily meetings on its platform. But as at April 2020, Zoom was able to they were able to record about 300 million daily meetings. That's about 300 increase in less than 5 months. And right now we're in November, so we're approaching October. I'm sure this figure must have increased over time. Also, this is not, how I put it, this figures is not a function of, this figures is not just hinged on the number of people attending meetings. It's also hinged on the revenue this has created for Zoom as a whole. You get, because record has it that in April 2019, Zoom was valued at $16 billion. And as of March 2020, it was valued at about $40.5 billion. And there's also records also bear witness that the stock rose from $65 per share to $146 per share. We can definitely say that the pandemic has really helped business for Zoom. I would also want to give an instance of Microsoft. Microsoft team had a daily active user base of 33 million people in March of 2019, and saw almost double increase in that figure, around 5 million people around April 2020. This has generated over 200 million daily meetings on the platform, and this also shows that there's a lot of meetings going on around the world. There's also an app which is called the Team Finance, which is also from Microsoft Corporation. Would say that we can actually, my research shows that the stock rose from $128 to about $208 per share. This over 100% increase. So as a result of the high influx of the use of all of these apps, we can see that it has brought, yes, it is, how do I frame this right now? The use of the constant use of virtual apps has helped us to communicate, has met our needs of, communicating effectively, getting our jobs done, irrespective of where we're located. But it has also brought about revenue for, software developers or software companies, so to say. And if we remember very, very vividly, in addition to that, if we remember very, very vividly, for those who use the iOS platforms, we realized that just, was it last week, they actually pushed out the iOS 14, and it was launched in less than 24 hours, or if I'm not mistaken. And that to me shows that, things are not rolling backwards. People are still doing their jobs. It has helped us to be more effective at our jobs, because I can imagine all the app developers and all of them and the coders and all of them had to work really hard to get their jobs done. You get, so this has really helped us, so to say, in our day-to-day living and all of that. So I would just like to reiterate on some of the social etiquettes that I previously mentioned. Once joining a meeting, or if you're invited to a meeting, ensure that you're punctual, ensure that you communicate, ensure that if you happen to be joining late, ensure that you turn off your video or mute your audio. That way you don't get to come off as a form of distraction. Ensure that you familiarize yourself with the various features that some of this app, offers you. And I'm sure that by following majority of these tips, I'm sure that you'll be able to effectively navigate through, communicating virtually. Thank you very much.